Would you commit tonight to accepting the results of the election?
Sure. I would like to see the governors enforce mask wearing, period. I can do that on federal property.
Why would you downplay a pandemic?
Should pre-existing conditions be removed?
No.
Please stop and let me finish my question, sir. Should that be?
Critics calling out CNN for their softball questions during last night's town hall with Joe Biden, which was a bit different than the treatment President Trump got from ABC earlier this week. Black Voices for Trump Advisory Board member Paris Denard joins me now with his reaction on the dueling town halls. Good morning. Good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. My question to you is, do you think that the people who end up losing out the most as a result of something like this are the American people who might still be undecided and want to hear the same type of questioning to both candidates?
100%. There's no doubt that the American people, who many of which are voting right now today because of early voting and absentee voting, there are people who are casting their ballots, and they deserve to hear from both candidates and have the same level of scrutiny, the same level of accountability from the Republican candidate, President Donald J. Trump, and from Joe Biden. But when Joe Biden goes to his town halls and it gets given softball question after softball question, and there's no follow-up about serious questions that a lot of Americans should know about. For instance, why he called black men predators, really having him defend his support for the crime bill that led to the mass incarceration of black Americans, his obvious flip-flop on the issue of fracking, and even last night when he refused to call China our opponent. I mean, he needs to have a more serious type of questioning from the media and from these town halls so that the American people could have an accurate, can make up their mind accurately about who to support. They don't know who Joe Biden is.
So then from what you've seen so far with lines of questioning to each candidate, do you think this makes the debates coming up even more important, especially this first one?
There's no doubt that debates are critically important for every American to listen and to watch and to understand. It's an opportunity to hold Joe Biden accountable. For almost 47 years, he's literally been unable to be held accountable by the American people and by the media in terms of the things that he's said, his horrible policies, his quote-unquote gaffes, what I call bigoted comments. He needs to be held accountable, and the American people deserve to know what Joe Biden believes and why he believes it, because we've seen what President Trump has done, his actions, and he has been the most accessible president in United States history and the most accessible candidate to the media, to the American people through his campaigning. And so we need to have these debates. We should have more debates, not less.
Before we let you go, we want to get your opinion on this new poll that shows support for Black Lives Matter actually dropped 12 points since June. And you can see it on your screen right there. This is from the Pew Research Center. What is your reaction when you see that?
I'm not surprised that the black community is rejecting the Black Lives Matter movement and the organization, because we've seen the lawlessness, the violence, the rioting, the deaths, the shootings. It has to end. Black businesses are burning to the ground. Joe Biden is sitting in his basement. President Trump is taking action, and they want to see more Democrats on the ground, local mayors, local Democrat governors take action against these rioters and this aggression and say enough is enough. Let's be about justice, yes. Let's be about action, yes. But this violence, this lawlessness, these riotings, the looting, it has to stop. It must be. We are better than this, and that's why you see the decrease in support for BLM.
Okay, Paris Denard, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.